Very good morning. Is it ever OK to smack your children?
Well, I'm not a parent, of course, but I was smacked as a child and I don't think it did me too much damage, although some people may say it explains a lot. It certainly does with Beverly, who was smacked quite a lot, apparently.
My mum had
Your mum would be watching.
Yeah, she's
I sort of
watching.
guess I know why you have to smack her so often, Mum.
She would agree. But my mum had a philosophy. She worked with children her whole life. She didn't smack other people's children, to be clear. But her philosophy was lots of discipline, smacking when necessary, but twice as many cuddles. So for every smack we might have got, it's not like she was throwing us around the room, for every little smack on the legs we might have got for being cheeky or for running across the road when we weren't supposed to, or that kind of thing, or touching a hot pan, you would get twice as many cuddles.
OK, well, doctors, we're talking about this because doctors are calling for it, paediatricians calling for it to be banned in England and Northern Ireland. It's already illegal in Scotland and Wales, where the devolved governments say parents are trusted to parents cannot smack their children.
That's right. So, to debate this, we're joined by broadcasters May Mangan and Emma Woolf. Good morning, ladies. Anna, let me start with you. I think you have 4 children, do you? And also some grandchildren. How do you discipline them?
I speak to them. I mean, I think it's uncivilised that we're even discussing this as a maybe it shouldn't happen. Why would you brutalise a small child to get them to do what you want to do? Try that with your boss or your partner or your neighbour who parked in the wrong place and you give them a whack. And all this chat about a little tap. If it's a little tap, why bother? Speak to them. It really doesn't need to use violence. And if the parents who allow themselves to smack their children, I'm sure they'd go crazy if they went visiting and another mother hit their children. So is it about ownership? You can smack the person you love most in all the world, but nobody else can. So a teacher, obviously, you wouldn't want them to smack your children or anybody else in the family. It's wrong. It's teaching them that violence sorts out problems, and it doesn't.
Anna, you're using the word violence. A smack on the legs, I wouldn't call that violence.
OK, does it depend who's delivering it and how big the proportion is? So say someone 3 times bigger than you walked into the studio now and gave you a cuff on the back of the head. They'd be much stronger than you. And who's to define what's violent? The fact that you use your hands and force to persuade a child to do or not to do something, it just makes no sense to me. I don't even see how we can be debating this.
Emma,
it's so obviously wrong.
I think, Emma, for me, that argument ignores the very special relationship that a parent has with a child. Emma, go on, just respond to that.
Absolutely. I think using words like brutalise and violence is really, really unhelpful here. I think there is a place for loving, mild physical discipline in rare occasions, in an emergency situation, when necessary. I do not think that we are talking about slapping or physically harming a child. I'm talking about a tap on the leg or on the bottom or on the back of the thigh when you do something dangerous, like running into the road, things that I did as a child, once in a very, very occasional while. That is...
I think Emma's line is just breaking up a little bit, Anna. We'll bring you back in on that. Just respond to what Emma said.
You talk about a special relation. Oh, sorry, go on.
Go on, Anna.
A special relationship. I think a lot of parents who smack their children, and it is a smack. If you lay your hands on a child, it's a smack. To try and force them to do something, because that's what it's about. Would these parents do it in public? The majority of them not. So that tells me that there's a problem with it already. Do you really want siblings who are disciplined by smacking to deal with each other in that way as well? When is it okay for a sibling to smack each other around the face? It's not. So let's just be civilised.
It's not okay for siblings to do it, but it is natural. It is what children do.
No, it's not.
And it is exactly what children do.
Where adults don't do it.
No, adults don't do it, but I think
teaching them.
But there are very different rules apply to adults in the world and apply to children.
And there shouldn't be. 60% of people in a study done by the NSPCC agree with me that it shouldn't happen. And now the College of Paediatricians are coming out. I mean, what more do you need to outlaw this and to make it wrong, to make it formally wrong?
OK. All right, May Mangan. Emma Woolf, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time.
I trust a sensible parent. I don't need paediatricians to tell parents what to do.